Chapter 4. Stop asking how. There's a question that quietly limits the growth of countless entrepreneurs. It's a question that sounds productive, responsible, even intelligent, yet it often keeps people stuck far longer than they need to be. The question is this: how? How do I build this? How do I solve this? How do I learn this? How do I figure this out? How do I make this happen? Most entrepreneurs spend years asking that question. In fact, from the moment they begin their journey, they're conditioned to think that way. When a problem appears, they immediately start searching for answers. They open books, watch videos, listen to podcasts, study courses, research strategies, and while learning is valuable, something interesting begins to happen. The entrepreneur slowly becomes convinced that every solution must come through their own effort. Every challenge becomes a personal responsibility. Every obstacle becomes something they must overcome alone. At first, this mindset feels empowering. It creates independence, resourcefulness, resilience. It teaches people how to survive. But eventually, the very mindset that helped them survive begins limiting how much they can grow. Because there comes a point where success is no longer determined by how many answers you can find. It's determined by how many people you can find. And that's where a powerful shift occurs. The entrepreneur stops asking how and starts asking who. That single shift can compress years of struggle into months of progress. Because every problem you've ever faced has one thing in common. Someone has already solved it. Think about that for a moment. Right now, somewhere in the world, there is someone who already possesses the knowledge you're trying to acquire. Someone who has already overcome the challenge you're facing. Someone who has already built the system you're trying to create. Someone who has already learned the lesson you're trying to learn. Someone already has the answer. The question is whether you'll spend years discovering it yourself, or whether you'll learn it from them. This is one of the greatest advantages of relationships. They compress time. A mentor can save years of mistakes. A partner can accelerate growth. A collaborator can open doors you didn't know existed. A single conversation can change the trajectory of an entire business. The right person compresses time. That's worth remembering. The right person compresses time. While most people are trying to figure everything out on their own, high performers are constantly looking for people who already know what they need to know. They're not avoiding responsibility. They're simply refusing to waste time reinventing what already exists. Imagine two entrepreneurs standing at the base of a mountain. The first decides to climb alone. No guide, no map, no advice, no assistance. Eventually, they may reach the summit, but the journey will likely be slow, difficult, filled with unnecessary detours. The second entrepreneur finds someone who has climbed the mountain before, someone who knows the terrain, someone who understands the obstacles, someone who can point out the safest path. Both entrepreneurs may arrive at the same destination, but one arrives much sooner. This is why relationships are often the greatest accelerators in business. Not because they eliminate effort, because they eliminate unnecessary effort. And there's a tremendous difference between the two. When people hear stories about successful companies, they often focus on the founder, the visionary, the entrepreneur, the public face of the business. But rarely do they see the network standing behind that person, the advisors, the partners, the investors, the team members, the mentors, the collaborators. Success often looks individual from a distance. Up close, it is almost always collective. Behind every major breakthrough is a relationship. Behind every expansion is a relationship. Behind every opportunity is a relationship. Behind every transformation is a relationship. No one builds something extraordinary entirely alone. The stories we celebrate may focus on individuals. Reality tells a different story. Reality reveals teams, communities, partnerships, networks, and the entrepreneurs who understand this begin approaching growth differently. Instead of trying to become the smartest person in every room, they begin looking for rooms filled with smart people. Instead of carrying every responsibility themselves, they begin building connections with people whose strengths complement their own. Instead of asking how they can solve every problem, they begin asking who already possesses the solution. Here's a question worth reflecting on. Who already has what you're trying to build? Take a moment and genuinely consider that. Who already has the business you're trying to create? Who already possesses the knowledge you're trying to acquire? Who already understands the systems you're trying to master? Who already has access to the audience you're trying to reach? Who already solved the problem you're currently facing? Those questions can dramatically change the speed of your progress, because success leaves clues, and those clues are often carried by people. The entrepreneur who understands this stops viewing relationships as social activities. They begin viewing them as opportunities for growth, not in a manipulative sense, not as transactions, but as connections that allow value, wisdom, and opportunity to flow. And this is where another important distinction appears. Many entrepreneurs understand delegation. Far fewer understand partnership. Delegation says, "I'll tell you what to do." Partnership says, "Let's create something together." Delegation transfers tasks. Partnership multiplies strengths. Delegation often focuses on efficiency. Partnership often creates expansion. One reduces workload, the other increases possibility. And while both are valuable, partnership has a unique power. It creates outcomes neither person could have achieved alone. Think about some of the greatest achievements in business. Rarely are they the result of one person possessing every skill. More often, they emerge when different strengths come together. One person provides vision. Another provides execution. One person brings creativity. Another brings structure. One person understands the product. Another understands the market. Individually, they are capable. Together, they become powerful. Growth becomes easier when strengths are shared. That's one of the most overlooked truths in entrepreneurship. Many people spend years trying to strengthen weaknesses that will never become strengths. Meanwhile, extraordinary businesses are often built when people combine their strengths and allow others to fill the gaps. The entrepreneur who embraces collaboration discovers something remarkable. Progress feels lighter. Challenges become smaller. Opportunities become larger. And growth begins to accelerate. Not because they're working harder, but because they're no longer working alone. Which leads to another realization. Your next breakthrough probably has a name. It may be a mentor you haven't met yet, a future partner, a future employee, a future client, a future collaborator, a future friend. Somewhere, there is a person whose knowledge, experience, perspective, or opportunity can dramatically change your trajectory. And the same is true in reverse. Somewhere, there is a person whose life may be changed by what you know. The question is whether your paths will cross, and whether you'll be prepared when they do. Because the entrepreneurs who grow the fastest are rarely the entrepreneurs who know everything. They are the entrepreneurs who know how to connect, how to collaborate, how to learn from others, how to create value together, and how to build relationships that multiply possibility. As powerful as that realization is, it leads to an even deeper question. Because before you can find the right people, you must first understand yourself. You must understand your strengths, your weaknesses, your gifts, your unique contribution. Because the better you understand what only you can do, the easier it becomes to recognize who belongs beside you. You've learned that the right person can compress time. You've learned that every breakthrough involves relationships. You've learned that collaboration creates possibilities that isolation never can. Now it's time to turn inward. Because before you build the right team, you must first discover your role on the team. And that's exactly where we're going next.